Carving pumpkins today. Woohoo! That's the game plan. Right now, we've hollowed it out, and now we're going to add a face. See, we can save the seeds, and we'll dry them out and cook them up later. Woohoo! And well, we're going to take advantage of this guy. Because see, he's got a big face here, so we'll make big eyes and do this really kind of cool stuff. We don't cut all the way through the pumpkin. We just cut the skin and then trim it out. And then you get this really nice little glowy effect behind it. It's really kind of cool. Way. So what I did is I just carved around it a little bit. Wide angle lens. And then you just get in here and you do this. So we're going to do this and just cut like that. I'm an artiste, baby. Okay, Tom, so what we've been doing here is we've been cutting out the outer part of the skin. I outlined the mouth and the face and stuff. And you got to have these really nice little pen knives like this. Something that's not real sharp. I'm not going to cut myself on it, but it's sharp enough to do this. And then you get this nice, cool outline of the face. But then the next phase is if you put a candle in this thing, it's not really going to glow well. And we'll use this flashlight as an example. So if I put the candle in here, you can see it's not really too bright. You really need a really, really strong candle to do this. So the solution is you take a spoon, like so, and then you would go and find these little eye hole things here, and then what you do is you start scraping out the front part of the pumpkin where the face is. So as I do this over time, what will happen here, I'll give you a real rough here so you can see it. What will happen is if I start scraping it out and now I shine light on it, you'll see you can start to see that light come through, that extra pumpkin schmutz inside. So that's what we're going to do right now. See, so now you can really start to see what this thing's going to look like with a candle in it, which is really nice. However, you can still see there's little bits and pieces of it here and here and here and down here. So what we'll want to do is just go through here and use ambient light. So if we'll turn this on here for a second, you'll be able to see. We'll just do it opposite. So now we'll use the outside looking into the pumpkin like this. If you look in the pumpkin, you can see where that ambient light comes through, and it tells me where I need to cut a little more. So that's what I'll do now is I'll just do that, and then we'll get ready to put a candle in it. Woohoo! So now you can see, and this flashlight definitely needs a little work. So we get a candle in here. It'll look really scary, kids. Scary. Scary. Because candle is fire and fire needs oxygen, we got to make sure that this thing gets plenty of air, otherwise it's not going to glow very well. So what I do is when I cut my lids for my pumpkins, I want to make sure that I've got adequate room here to put little air holes on the top, and actually sometimes I'll actually drill an air hole in the back so you get this nice little flow of air going through it too. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and make sure that we get a good decent airflow from the top and the back so that the candle is fed with plenty of oxygen with our pumpkins. And you don't need a kit. Use your imaginations, kids. Use your imagination. So we have a nice little air hole back there, and then if we put this on top, we should get a pretty good flow of air right now. And what we'll use to determine is if our pumpkin, if the candle starts to go down in its intensity. So now we'll just kind of watch it for a second, make sure it keeps glowing on a regular basis. And if it glows regularly, we've got this really cool pumpkin. And then, you know, you can do a little more touch up here, like we can add little eye holes like this, just a really slight little thing to give them a little extra thing here, a little extra scary. Or if you wanted, you could make these slits. So we could cut this like a slit, like this.
What's that you say? Oh man, no way.
Woohoo! The other thing we did over here, and you can see it now, is I cut out the flesh here, so you get this glow with the dark cheek. And we did the same thing over here. So it looks like he's got this nice little glowy cheek.
My once-a-year vigil, where I watch over all of the cars on Wheatler Street. I take my place in the window and ceremoniously ward off evil spirits.
That's it. That's all, folks.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Doodle.